back to my channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you about the 5 best foods for eczema, and this is an updated video because there is an older video about the 5 best foods for eczema, but since then I've learned a ton more about eczema. I think that video is probably 3 years old at this point. So if you guys are ready for some updated foods, some of them might be the same, but it's just because they're that effective. Let's dive right in to the 5 best foods for eczema. The number 1 food we're gonna be talking about is blueberries. So believe it or not, blueberries are one of the safest foods for people with eczema. So there's a lot of different criteria for how I was able to figure out the 5 best foods for eczema. And 1, is it going to create problems for someone with an overworked or non-alcoholic fatty liver? 2, is it going to affect things like candida, SIBO? And then in general, are people reacting to it? From the people I speak to, I like to post things to my story on Instagram. You guys can follow me at Coach Michelle Mills. And from there, I can kind of collect information about people with eczema and how they're reacting to different things. So blueberries, specifically wild blueberries, are insanely good for your health in general. They have something in it called anthocyanin. This is amazing for your body in numerous ways. A lot of doctors like to talk about anthocyanin and the health benefits of it. Not only that, people with eczema, it does not cause somebody to react who has issues to histamines or salicylates. So if you have an overworked liver, blueberries are typically a safe food unless your liver's just like really problematic, and then that may be a food you need to add in later on. As far as candida, it really does not add to candida. Even though it is a fruit, the sugar is so low in blueberries, it's not going to make your candida react like something like bananas might. And then as far as SIBO, from what I understand, blueberries do not contribute towards the growth of any sort of SIBO. So blueberries have been a go-to fruit for me for like years now, and I hope you guys can include that into your diet as well. The second food we're gonna talk about, and I will sound like a broken record with this one, is salmon. I know, okay? But just hear me out here. Salmon has so many health benefits to helping your skin actually heal. Okay, we'll go down the criteria, right? It's low in salicylates, low in histamines, typically, as long as you're not eating smoked salmon or canned salmon. Fresh salmon should be relatively low in histamines specifically. Salmon is just low in salicylates. And then technically, salmon can feed hydrogen sulfide SIBO. However, I've been dealing with hydrogen sulfide SIBO and I'm not reacting to salmon at all. While this food tends to be a little bit more reactive for people with eczema, the health benefits from salmon are so incredible for the healing process of your skin that I had to put it in here in this video. So a lot of people might actually develop pseudo-allergies to salmon. So pseudo-allergies are essentially a way that your body marks things as bad. It's the way your immune system is like, oh hey, like that's an intruder, let me mark this. But it's a temporary marker. And so a lot of times when your leaky gut is really bad, whatever foods you're eating during that time, a lot of people might be eating salmon, you could develop a pseudo-allergy to salmon during that time. So that's not great. But salmon is really high in omega-3, and omega-3 is super anti-inflammatory. Eczema is an inflammatory condition. There are so many micronutrients found in salmon that can just help your body in general. Sometimes salmon can actually contain vitamin D, which is amazing. People with eczema usually have low levels of vitamin D, and so salmon is one of the sources of vitamin D. So you guys might be on the fence with that one, but just continue watching this video. You might find other foods that you didn't know were super good for eczema. The third food, which is actually a pretty popular food in the eczema community, but celery. So I have a spreadsheet called the Ultimate Eczema Food Guide. I created a spreadsheet cross-referencing tons and tons and tons of resources where I check foods for if it's good for your gut, if it has salicylates, histamines, and if it's going to cause hydrogen sulfide SIBO to get worse, and it's a live spreadsheet. So if you end up purchasing the Ultimate Eczema Food Guide, which I'll link it in the description for you so that you can figure out how to get it pretty easily, I can keep adding to this spreadsheet at any time, and once you have the spreadsheet, you're just gonna benefit from whatever I add to it. It's like a one-time purchase, and then you're constantly getting updates. Like, the way that I was able to find these different foods for this video is referencing the Ultimate Eczema Food Guide. So whatever foods looked good all the way across, I brought up in this video, except for 2, okay? Just bear with me. Salmon was one of them, and there's one to come. There's just reasons. It's so healing to the skin, okay? Celery is one of those foods that is just like, yeah, it's not very calorie dense, but it's so good for you. It contains vitamin K, which is good for your blood. Vitamin K does really cool things. But aside from that, celery is just super bland. Like, doesn't have salicylates, doesn't have histamines. It's not contributing towards any gut issues. In fact, it actually helps detox your liver, which is why, if you don't know who the medical medium is, he has a book called Liver Rescue. I don't personally agree with his methods, but if you're in the eczema community, you probably have heard of the medical medium and the fact that he talks about celery and how good it is for your body and your liver. So that is super correct. The 4th food, which I actually found shocking, is ghee. Basically, it's a form of butter where the lactose has been taken out of it. So it's clarified, it's gone through some refinement so that basically the bad parts, and the reason why a lot of us with eczema can't have dairy, especially cow's dairy, is taken out and you're just left with butter. I'm not gonna act like an expert on this. I know that there's something called butyrate, and I know that butter has butyrate or creates butyrate, like helps your body create butyrate. Basically, it's really good for your gut because of butyrate. Butter, butyrate, right? They go hand in hand. Ghee, not butter, right? Not goat butter, not cow butter, but ghee, clarified butter. No histamines, no salicylates, doesn't contribute towards gut issues. In fact, it actually helps your gut. So weirdly enough, you can maybe start cooking with ghee and see how your body reacts to it, because just have to give you a reminder here, everyone with eczema is a little bit different as to what they can and cannot tolerate, but according to the research, it seems like ghee is perfectly fine for eczema. The 5th and final food we're going to talk about that is good for eczema is bone broth. I am aware that it probably has histamines in it. It could have a couple other things in it, but I have ran like over 40 people through the Empowered Eczema program. It's my coaching program where I put people on a specific diet based on their root causes, and I work them through the whole healing journey, right? The clients that I've had, or the students that I've had, they usually end up eating bone broth. There's this soup that I've developed called the Gut Healing Super Soup. There's a recipe actually on my website and on this YouTube channel. When I was healing really severe eczema, I would buy bone broth, drink bone broth, make my own bone broth, and it's just so healing. It contains glycine, which I always tell you guys to take. It contains a bunch of other amino acids that are just great for healing your skin, great for healing your gut. It's kind of like a protective food. So while some people might have a little bit of issues related to histamines, or maybe the hydrogen sulfide SIBO, the majority of people would benefit entirely from consuming bone broth. So these are the 5 best foods for eczema. Obviously, you can't create meals with just these 5 foods, but like, if you're looking for new foods to add to your diet that you know probably will not make you react or will actually help your skin heal, it would be these 5. So leave your questions down in the comment section, and I will see you guys in my next video.
I like crashing waves, but I wanna see them at first light.